Good morning, beautiful YouTube family. My name is Paula. Some people know me as PB Moreland. I am the author of the books in the Whitebird series. And I've made many videos about many different things. And today I thought I would just talk about our lovely David Wilcock. I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon and try to. Some people monetize, some people don't. But the reason I'm going to talk to you today about how I felt about this man is because he was very important to me. And there's no way I would ever be able to deny that. So David Wilcock passed on April 20th, 2026. Some of you might know him, some of you might not. But if you're a YouTube channel watcher, most likely you've now seen his name because it is a huge situation that's happened in the disclosure community. Another beautiful soul is gone. Another beautiful being who knew a lot, who had a lot of information and shared it without hesitation to his followers is gone. I don't think anybody will really know what happened to David. And that is not really our concern, in my opinion, because what I will always hold true in my heart is how he, as a gentle soul, helped wake up millions of people. I do believe that was his reason for incarnating in this lifetime. I never met the man. But the moment I heard his voice and saw him speak on a video years ago, I connected immediately. I just felt it, as I do with those who I resonate with, that this is someone who I wish to learn from and listen to. And therefore, I was part of his online Sunday community that he was instrumental in putting out Sunday videos for years, 2 or 3 years. And David was a best-selling author. He wrote books, he made movies, he was interviewed by many in the disclosure community, the UFO community, and he was also a beautiful, intelligent researcher. And he shared everything he learned with his followers and his friends and family. When I learned of his passing, it hit me really hard. It did. It felt just like the day Princess Diana died to me. I stopped in my tracks and I just had to let it settle in. And I was in a fog for 3 or 4 days. I rewatched many of his videos. I tried to stay away from the YouTube channels that talked about him, trying to figure out what happened. Did he die? Did he commit suicide? Was he murdered? Is he taken into witness protection? What I find comforting to know is that he is in a better place wherever he is. He was not healthy towards the end of his life or the end of his journey here. He said it, and he was quite often he was scared because he felt targeted, and he was targeted. He was harassed online. He might have been harassed physically because we don't really know. But what we do know is that he was a very compassionate man. He loved humanity. He loved helping humanity. I do feel he was also very vulnerable, and he was, in a way, slightly naive. Because, like myself, I'm naive. I figure everyone on this planet is good-hearted. Now, I've learned otherwise. And honest. I've learned otherwise. And so that is why my circle of friends is very small, because I don't invite anyone in unless I can trust them. It's just who I am right now. I trust my family and some friends, co-workers. And it's not like it's a matter of trust or not, but it's a matter of being accessible and who I will resonate with. I resonated really well with David, as many of us did, because of his vulnerability, because of his willingness to share with us his hardships and his joys. He was very fun to watch because he was entertaining. And he was also brilliant in his research. I do think he went down some paths that might have been misinformation, but I don't think he did that deliberately. I don't think he fed us information deliberately. In fact, I know he didn't. He was misled. And that is where a bit of his vulnerability and his naivety lied. I do think he was coming from a place of pure goodness, where what he shared with us, he wanted us to listen to because he wanted to keep us safe. And he admitted that in a past video where he said, I might be killed, but I want to keep you safe with this information. And information is power. Knowledge is power. And a lot of us awakened to the truth of our reality in this 3D world, this 3D matrix, because of David's information. So I just wanted to pay tribute to this man, this very gentle man who did not have an easy life. He talks about this in his videos. He talks about his time as a child and subsequent teenager and young adult into his adult years. They were not easy for him. But he was skilled in many areas, in the arts, in the sciences, in math. I mean, he could have a conversation with a brilliant scientist easily. And if you rewatch any of his videos, you will understand his brilliance. And I keep mentioning that because that's how he was as a teacher. He used his knowledge to help us understand our brilliance, our own brilliance. And this last book that I am publishing, my Blue Flames Rising, book 5 in the Whitebird series, I am committed to dedicating it to David because I value his life. I value his time here on planet Earth. I know he is a starseed, as many of us are. And I know that's why I resonated with him, as many of us did, immediately because of our galactic history together, as a group, as a collective, who are here on this planet at this time. And many of us who give out information are targeted. So I tend to keep my content very neutral because my purpose on this planet is not to be a part of the disclosure community and talk about things that could get me shadow banned. I know in my heart that's not a purpose of mine. My purpose to help awaken others is to stay in the light, to write my books, to disclose the fact that humanity is the most special being in the universe. There are no beings more special, more exceptional, more skilled, more great than the human being. And that's why we are now deemed for ascension. It is time. And David, maybe his passing or passing from this realm into another, and in any way it happened, is going to be instrumental in waking up even more people. So I just say this to David of the Light, Namaste. We will miss you more than you could ever, ever know. And we love you, and we are glad that you are now safe and protected. And you can be your shining self and love the animals like you do, and love nature, and just shine. Thank you, David.